No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. Oh, maybe no. Yes. Yes. Are we on mic?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Okay. All right, guys. I gotta catch my breath. Anyways, so guys, what we're gonna do, okay, now I was on my left. We're gonna do some guard passing. We're gonna sort of switch up what we're doing. All right? This is actually one of my favorite combinations. So, I like a knee cut pass, but sometimes guy does a good job blocking it, and I staple his leg with my outside knee. So in this case, it's my left knee. You can pass sometimes, just straight through, but it becomes very difficult because a lot of times he's got a knee shield. So what I'll do a lot of times is I'll go under, okay? Now, you gotta be very careful. Let me turn around for a second. So you gotta make sure that this leg is pinned and the knee is through, okay? Because if I start to, and he pushes through and you got somebody strong, you can get triangle. All right? So, as I'm driving, I want my knee as far as possible. Of course, the guy's going to try to off-balance you, but so I start to drive. Now, there's two ways I can generally go. Is I threaten the pass to my right. The other possibility is to go to the left. Okay? So, let's look at the setup. So I'm passing guard. You know, I try to cut, but this is not happening. Sometimes I will try to change my direction and I pin. Now, I'm going to swim under and drop in. I have to make sure my elbow's tight. So I don't get, you don't want to be doing flaring on your elbow. So I want to have my elbow tight. It's okay if my hand, if he grabs, you can always swim. All right? Now, if I can, I'm going to go under his head. And now this is key, guys. You have to sort of drive forward, but keep his legs wide open. If he decides that the pressure is too much, what he's going to do is he's going to posture up. When that happens, my right hand is going to come across his head, and I'll withdraw my left. And now I'm going to pass to my right. Guys, as soon as I pass, I'm looking to tie him up and get a submission going. If I can. Guys, if you get an exposure on his arm or his head off the guard pass, pick the submission. If you don't, then stabilize, and then you can sort of start to break him down. So if I'm going against a leg locker, I don't want him to be in butterfly guard. So what I'll usually try to do is I step in. So this temporarily disrupts what they got going. Yeah. Generally speaking, just remember, when you go in with a leg locker, it's your better bet to move forward than backwards. So if I fall, if I screw this up and I'm going forward, this kind of creates a little bit of a scramble where I can bail out of it. On the other hand, if I fall backwards, if he makes me fall backwards, yeah, this is pretty much done. So again, first of all, I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when they get hit with an Imanari roll is to try to escape it backwards. Are you warm? Are you warm enough for a Minari roll?
Hopefully.
And hopefully I won't kick you in the head. So we're gonna do. So again, if I get hit with an Minari roll, I want to move forward so that way this gives me a scramble that I might be able to make something happen. What people tend to do is try to bail backwards, and that's when the scramble results usually in a submission. So that's one. So again, if he's down, so if he's a leg locker, I'm trying to go in between his legs. I'm trying to get head and arm control. So if he's sitting up, right now I'm in a good position. I'm already feeding his gi, and then I try to drive forward. Right now, as long as I control his head, there is almost no possibility of a leg lock. So from here, I'm going to try to pass. If he gets on top of me, I'm going to choke him. But again, I'm looking for head and arm control. No leg locks. Denied. Denied. So when I have a leg locker, I'm thinking head and arm control, and forward movement. So even if I do get knocked down, usually when you face a leg locker, if they can off balance you and put you on the ground, you're entering their world. So if I have to go down, I want to go forward rather than backwards. One other thing is, so if I have a leg locker, I try to backstep. Again, this tends to neutralize their attacks. From here, he's got his own issues right now. I'm not sure how it goes, but a lot of times, yeah. And I'm looking again, you know, if I can't have head and arm control, I'm looking for the arm control, you know. So again, if you prevent him, yeah, good luck with that leg lock, Enrique. So, generally speaking, with a leg locker, if I'm up and he's down, the basic principles are, I try to prevent him from going butterfly guard. If the guy has good inversions into sort of reverse alhiva, yeah. I want to have a low base, and again, I'm looking to control the head. With the gi, it's a little bit easier because first of all, I don't worry about the heel hooks with the gi, but also I can grab. I'm already controlling Enrique's collar, but I want to have low levels so he cannot invert underneath me. And how do you like them apples? Obviously, you have your own attacks, but again, when I leg lock people, I don't have the most flexible ankles or knees, so I will generally try to stay away from leg attacks that put me in almost symmetrical position relative to the other guy. I will, generally speaking, when I do go for leg locks, I want to make sure that both my legs are protected. And usually that's with a knee bar as a start. So when the guy has a good knee shield, I don't want to get engaged here, to be honest with you, because, yeah. So what I usually do is try to put my hand, if I can, inside is even better. But sometimes you can't, I just back up. So basically what I'm trying to do is create a little bit of space. So again, you don't have to know how to pass every single guard perfectly. You do need to know how to deal with every kind of guard. And if you can't pass it perfectly for whatever reason, maybe your body type, maybe your training partner is bigger or thicker, whatever it is, then you need to be able to transfer his guard or translate his guard into another guard that you have an easier time with. So again, if I have a knee shield guard, I will try to, especially with the no-gi, try to put my fist, see if I can pull the guy in and break him down like this. So you can threaten that, but sometimes it's just not gonna happen for you. So again, I weave my arm through and I use my shoulder to try to collapse his legs. and try to pop him open. But you have to control his head. If I don't control his head, you know, things start to get bad. So you need to have confidence that you're controlling his head. So again, I will try to, and now as, you know, sometimes as he's pulling the head in, he decides to pull away the head. And now I have a different guard pass. So you got to be, and then this is pretty much universal in any guard passing. You may threaten a certain guard pass, at least well enough that he has to sort of start to deal with it, which now allows you to transition effectively him into a different kind of guard, which you might have an easier time passing. So one more time. So if I can't control his head, so what I'll do is just back up. Now, it's still locked up, and now he needs to do something. Now, this is a very good, for me, I like to pass threatening the guillotine. Again, so from here, what I'll try to do is float and threaten submission. So usually in that position, I will float on him to make sure that I don't lose my base and constantly threaten the submission. So that's one of my go-to, but again, you have to set up those circumstances by maybe initially drive your hand through between his legs, try to control the head. As he tries to free his head, sometimes guys will frame. So as he starts to frame, and now it's a different animal. Okay? Let's look at now X-guard defenses, right? So again, guys, straight ashigarami, outside ashigarami, and X-guard are usually, that's the initial point of starting the leg entanglement and going into leg lock defense. So we're trying to, obviously there's some, this is the first line of defense. There's some second line or third line of defense. But if you can stop any attack, doesn't matter whether it's leg lock, arm lock, anything, in the first line of defense, it's a lot easier to escape than once you sort of go further and further down into it. So this time, Enrique went into X-guard. So guys, right away, I know I'm going to get stretched out. Okay? So, I'm actually going to try to, I try to get a really good base here. If I feel, no, you don't have to do it for me. So his left leg is behind mine. But if I feel I can sort of push in the front of me, I will take that every day. So if I feel I can just slip it, it's not that easy, guys. A guy that's got this good it's not gonna be that easy. But if you feel you have that, do it. And again, once that happens, guys, I'm sprawling my hips. And I'm controlling head and arms, so he cannot, if I don't control, he can start to lift. So I want to make sure I control the head and arm. If I can't control head and arm, I try to control either arm or head. So that's the easiest one. This is the easiest one. This, you can escape. If you can get his leg in front of you, you can escape. Even if he lifts, I can continue to sprawl, control the head. You don't necessarily have to use your arm to control the head. Right now I'm using my own head to control his head. Okay? Yes, we're going there. Now, sometimes you can just kick out. All right, so but you gotta feel that his legs are not really that tight yet. So if you could do this, and we'll go back from yesterday, or 2 days ago, I forget. Okay? So if I go into X-guard, and here we go. And one more, guys. So now, if I feel that I'm going to lose my balance. So guys, I need to make sure that I post. I sink my hips so they're low. All right? I don't want to be lifted. If anything, he's going to stretch me. So I know he's going to stretch. If you sink your hips, he's going to stretch me. If I'm high, he's going to lift. Okay? So I'd rather get stretched. So I know, at least I know where he's going. When I feel I'm getting stretched, I'm going to bring my knee to his hip. And now I'm going to roll. And I'm trying to create a scramble. You will not always take the guy's back. But basically, you put yourself in a scramble situation. There is some risk of him going for an ankle lock. But if I know it, I can defend it because I'm going into that scramble first. And just like that, we're out of time.
That's we're out of time universal. So
I'm trying to remember the numbers. Next Friday, the 17th, is 37.
And the holiday.
24th is
38.
Guys, I will kick his ass next time. All right, when you fix, all right, just be ready for this. All right, guys, we'll see you next week for episode whatever it is. Next Friday, December 17th.
37. You said.
Share, subscribe. Yes. Okay.
Tell your friends, family members, all of that.